The video will start in a few seconds, but as a reminder, remember, if you have a question, comment, or suggestion about this video, please follow the link below. Also note that you can post anonymously. Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3DGameman.com and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the SilverStone Sugo SG09 case. This box is loaded with information. It has pictures, features, and specifications about the product. It also has something very unique. It has these Velcro straps. This is the first time I've ever seen this on a case box. It has a strap on the top and another one on the bottom. They're there to make it easier to transport the box. Your typical case packaging material, styrofoam on either end, and the case itself is in a plastic bag. Now, with the case removed from the box, there's actually one very long Velcro strap. It goes through the bottom, but it's outside on the bottom, so you can grab the case from the bottom if you want to, or at the top where it actually ties down. Now, they have some tape on the case, and this is to keep the removable dust filters in place. Included are converter brackets for a 140 millimeter fan. This bracket here is for installation of a slim optical drive, a bag of screws, 4 cable ties, a USB cable. This is a power adapter for 3 3-pin fans. This end gets connected into the 4-pin power supply mullock sleeve, and these ends get connected into the fan or fans. They also include 4 round rubber feet, and these square ones are adhesive spacers for 3.5 millimeter slim optical drive installation. They also include this square piece right here, and this is actually for an 80 millimeter fan duct. You can extend it from 25 millimeters to 32 millimeters. And they include a very detailed installation guide. Now, this is a small form factor case, but don't let that deceive you. You can fit a lot of gear inside this case. This case is perfect for anybody who doesn't want to go to a mid or full tower case. Now, of course, you're not going to have the freedom on the inside to install and remove things extremely easily, but still, if you're looking for a compact case solution, well, this would certainly fit the bill. The case also is comprised mainly of steel and plastic. At the top is a removable dust filter. To take it off, simply pull upwards on the corner. Also at the top is a very large 180 millimeter air penetrator intake fan. The front of the case looks fantastic. They have their SilverStone logo in the middle. That's it. So there's very little branding on this case, which is excellent. Also, lots of ventilation. At the very top is a 5¼ inch slim optical disc drive. This is actually a filter which comes out. To remove it, push down and you can pry it out. And this is actually a filter for the power supply's fan because a power supply gets installed at the front. Here's the power button, reset button, as well as LEDs for hard drive activity and power. There are 2 USB 3 ports, as well as a microphone jack and headphone jack. On the left side, there's lots of ventilation. They include one 120 millimeter exhaust fan, but you can install an optional 92 millimeter fan here if you want to. You can also install another 2 optional fans as well, either 2 80 millimeters or 2 92 millimeters. This might be an exhaust fan, but you can choose to have these intaking cool air if you want to, and they do include a removable dust filter. On the right side of the case, there's extra ventilation and this punch out. At the back of the case, there's a low-high switch for the top 180 millimeter fan. Here's where the power supply's cable would get connected. This is where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed. They include a 120 millimeter exhaust fan at the bottom. There are 4 ventilated expansion slots as well as extra ventilation. As you can see, there are lots of thumb screws. To remove the top cover, you'll first need to take off 3 thumb screws, and you'll also need to remove a single screw on the left side, and then you can just lift it off. The left bottom side panel can be removed by taking off 2 thumb screws and a regular screw screw at the bottom, and then you can just simply remove it. And by the way, all of the thumb screws come with plastic washers. This is to cut down on vibrations, but it also prevents the thumb screw from scratching the case. You can install a micro ATX, mini DTX, or mini ITX form factor motherboard in this case. Now, as you can see, there isn't a tremendous amount of room to work on the inside. However, you can fit a lot of gear inside of here. Note where the power supply gets installed, and yes, you can install a regular power supply up to 180 millimeters in length. Note that they have this large hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate. There's a plate behind that, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Note the very large cable. This is for connecting the power supply. You would connect this end into the power supply, and they have this lead going to the back of the case, which I showed you earlier, and then you would connect the power cord from there into the outlet. Despite its size, you can fit a video card that is up to 13.3 inches in length, and that's approximately 33 to 34 centimeters in length. Also, you can fit a CPU cooler that is up to 165 millimeters in height. Now, while the back and side fans do not have sleeving, the top 180 millimeter air penetrator fan does. And just take a closer look at this top 180 millimeter air penetrator fan. It is humongous to be in a case this size. Here's where you fit that slim optical disc drive. You can install up to two 3.5 inch drives on this panel, which by the way can be removed if you need to gain access to the CPU cooler's retention plate, and you can install up to 4 2.5 inch drives at the bottom, and they would get installed in this configuration: 3.5 inch drives at the top and 2.5 inch drives at the bottom. You can also install an optional 80 millimeter fan, and note the holes for routing cables through. Now, the rubber feet are not installed, but they do include 4 of them. Note that this blue LED fan is on the power supply, which I'm using. They do not include a blue LED fan. Now, just to recap, there are 3 fans included. There's one 120 millimeter intake fan on the left side. There is another 180 millimeter intake fan at the top, and there's another 120 millimeter exhaust fan at the back. Now, have a listen with all the stock fans on, but the top one at the low speed. Now, the top one at the high speed. If you're in the market for one of the very best small form factor cases on the planet, well, this just might be it. I am extremely impressed with this case. The look, the overall build quality and design is excellent. There's lots of fans, and you can install more. Plenty of removable fan filters, USB 3 ports. Also, there is lots of room on the inside to install hardware. Overall, this is without a doubt a 100% kick-ass product. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and please note that pricing for this product is available on the 3D Game Man video review page.